Morning everybody. What's in my camera bag? Now, a couple of people have said to me, actually quite a few people have said to me, we are blown away by the quality of your videos, Julian, and we want to know what equipment you use to make them. Okay, well, what's in my camera bag? Well, first of all, this particular camera bag is a Billingham. Yes, one of the great what's the word? One of the great names in British camera bags. But this isn't a video about camera bags. It's a good video about cameras. First of all, this is a GoPro, and this is a GoPro Hero 7 Black. Now it's in this kind of foam rubber cover, so I'll just take that off, and there you are. So when I'm on the bike or I'm taking biking videos, I tend to use the Hero 7 Black. For my other videos, particularly if I'm doing close-ups or macro work or wide work, let's say I'm doing an unboxing of something big, then I tend to use this camera, and this is a Panasonic Lumix GX8. And the lens on it at the moment I've only just bought, and it's the 30mm macro lens, equivalent to a 60mm in standard 35mm format. The lens that I would use when I'm doing the wide videos is the, not sure it's in this bag at the moment, it's the 7-14. Is it 7-14? Yeah, 7-14, and therefore that's equivalent to 14-28 in the 35mm format. Now, the other camera that I use is the one that I'm actually using to make this video, and that's the Canon G7X Mark II, which I'll switch around and show you in a little while. So let's put that camera bag to one side, because in this camera bag, and this is a Peak Design bag. Again, I'm not going to go through camera bags at this point. It's a very nice bag though. And in here I have a couple of items. First of all, in this bag, this actually is the 7-14 Lumix wide angle lens that I just mentioned. And we then have this microphone, which is still in the box. This is a Saramonic Mini TRS microphone. The reason it's still in the box is that I bought this to use with the GoPro, but it requires a microphone adapter, and if any of you know, the microphone adapter costs about 49 quid. It is available on Amazon, but with unbelievably long delivery. So I ordered it in 2017, I think, and it's due in around about April. So until then, till I get that, this stays in the box. The other microphone that I tend to use is this one, oops, and this is the Rode, I think it's called the Mini Video Mic. Not quite sure if it's the Mini, it doesn't say on it. Anyway, this is the Rode video microphone. It's a very common microphone, a lot of people use it, and it comes with a cable like this, which screws into, or rather plugs into your camera if your camera has a microphone socket. Now, if you're in the market for a camera to make videos and YouTube stuff, I think an external microphone is very important, but a lot of cameras don't have it, so very important to look. It fits on my Panasonic, but the cable, or rather the plug on the microphone is a 3.5mm, I believe, and the socket on the Panasonic is smaller. So if you do buy this, you need to buy this little adapter so that you can plug it in like that. This item, as I'm sure you know if you're interested in videos or microphones, is what's called a dead cat. And what you do is you put the dead cat, you put the microphone basically up the arse of the dead cat like that. Sorry, any cat lovers out there. And what this does is it muffles the wind noise. Now I'll show you what I'm using on the Canon when I show you that to muffle the wind noise. So that's that. I just put this bag to one side. The other microphone that I use, not all that often, But if I'm doing a voiceover on a video, which I sometimes do, then I have this microphone. This is also a Rode microphone, and this is the NT USB microphone. Now, the quality on this is absolutely glorious, although I'm not what am I going to say, the quality is absolutely glorious, but if you look at the size of it, there it is next to my head, and there it is next to the GoPro. So if you imagine this is a kind of brontosaurus and this is a hedgehog, so there you go, that gives you some idea of the comparison. It's very heavy. It fits onto this rather flimsy tripod that they provide you with, and it fits on like that. I'll just screw it on like that, and then there is a cable, USB obviously cable, which plugs into the bottom of the microphone and then plugs into your laptop or your desktop. As I say, it's about 100 quid, perhaps a bit more. It is a glorious quality, but it is expensive. Well, it is relatively expensive. It is heavy. My son has just gotten into making podcasts with his mates, and he's bought a Shure USB microphone, which was about 25 quid. I haven't actually seen it because he took it over to his mates, and with lockdown and quarantine and so forth, now of course he can't get it back, but that's life. So that's the setup that I tend to use. I'll just pause it for a moment so we can switch around. Don't go away. Okay, welcome back. I'm now filming this on the Panasonic GX8 with the 7:14 wide-angle zoom lens and the Rode video microphone with the dead cat on it. Now, obviously you can't see the dead cat because it's on the camera, but I showed it to you before. Don't know if you can tell the difference in the quality of the sound from this microphone from what I was using before. What I was using before was this camera, and this camera is the Canon G7X Mark II. Now, this funny little thing you can see on the top there, I'll try and hold it up a bit closer. This is called a micro muff. Yes, believe it or not, a micro muff. And you have a little piece of Velcro and you stuck it on there, and what it does is it works as a wind muffler for the noise, and it does work brilliantly. It might look a little bit odd, but it does really work very well. This camera, I really like this camera. It has a flip up screen like that, so if you're doing YouTube videos you can see yourself. The Panasonic has a fold out screen, so that you can see yourself to the side. Here you see yourself above the lens. I'll just switch it on. This has a 8.8 to 36.8 millimeter lens, which is equivalent, not quite sure, I think it's about 24 to 105, but I'm not 100% certain. I do tend to use this camera for most of my videos, I suppose partly because it's easier to set up. With the Panasonic I have to plug in the microphone and things just take a little bit more time. But as I say, if I'm doing videos that require a wide angle view, then I use the Panasonic. Otherwise I tend to use this. Obviously it's much easier to take this camera out and about. You can put it on a mini tripod. I have done a separate video, by the way, about the various tripods that I use, and you can see a link to it up there, or is it up there, or is it somewhere amongst my list of videos. Prices, well, you can go on Amazon and find the prices. They're not cheap. This camera I think is about 450, 500 quid, something like that. There is now a Mark III of this camera which has a microphone port, so I'm not going to upgrade from this, although if I was buying it now I would certainly go for the Mark III, because that external microphone port I think is very important. And if you were going to do that, then you could use this Saramonic microphone which I showed you earlier, although I haven't tried this so I don't know the quality of it, and then you could make your videos with that. I would say, however, before anybody who's new to YouTube, who's watching this and thinks, well, I'd like to get into making films, but this seems like an awful lot of equipment and it's going to work out really expensive. Yes, it does, but it doesn't have to. Now, there are plenty of videos on YouTube that show you the different equipment that people use, and if you've got a smartphone, you can do it on a smartphone. And when I first started doing YouTube videos, that's what I used. So you don't have to do it long before you think, oh, I want something better, but you don't have to have something better. So don't start thinking, I need to have a lot of expensive equipment before I can do decent stuff. I suppose the thing about more expensive equipment is it gives you versatility. It gives you more options. It gives you more ways to set the camera, to adjust the exposure. The iPhone and other cameras produce brilliant pictures, but you are limited in the kind of things you can make. You can do a lot of changes in post-production editing with the various facilities on the phone, but in terms of the camera itself, you're limited. But with more expensive cameras, you can do a lot more stuff. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. I hope you find it a little bit helpful. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. If you like and if you share it, then the algorithms in YouTube spreads it more to other people, and we can spread the joy and the love while we're all stuck in quarantine. So thanks for watching and see you next time.